I saw that. It's supposed to rain again.
We're all in trouble.
I understand. It kind of goes back to my conversation with Sarah's going to enforce it. And stuff. She said, well, we haven't been doing a lot of them, but if we start now,
Chief, how are you?
So anyways, yeah, I do have those fish guys and they'll sign the flag.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, last week.
Still don't like the treasurer.
Last week we didn't have any actions. We had a lot of, not last week, last month. We had a number of presentations.
We're live.
I'll go ahead and get started. It is now 5:59 p.m. on April 1st, 2025. I call the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of Montgomery to order. First order is the pledges of allegiance. You all rise. And we'll start. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay. Next item is public forum. Is there anyone in the audience that has signed up that would like to speak on an item pertaining to the city or whatnot? Or you can wait to the specific item if you'd like. Do one? Okay. Well, let's move on to item number 3. Consideration and possible action on the regular meeting minutes of March 4th, 2025.
I make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes as published.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2025. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Minutes, the motion passes. Item number 4, consideration and possible action regarding the relocation of an existing sign in the Historical Preservation District from 305 Prairie Street to an existing sign post at 301 Prairie Street.
Good evening, Commissioners. I have a
other representatives here?
Yes.
Would you be interested in sometime in the near future, maybe improving on the aesthetics of the post where the signs are going?
No, absolutely.
Okay. Kind of make, I mean, we are working towards that, like where we have a design for the downtown and where it flows. I was just wondering if you would be interested in replicating like a monument style, maybe caps on it, maybe.
Are there examples somewhere that I can see?
Well,
I'm just asking if you're interested.
Here's the dirt.
It's, I went through the ordinances, and I've been through this before, with Bell 105 and the historical district, is the, Ms. Tilly, is the, in that section, N2A through G, statement that this freestanding sign does not apply to the historical district, is that still in effect?
I'm aware of that.
It's in the, I know in ones before that monument signs were not required in the downtown historical district. So I've been through that 2 or 3 different times. It's on, one I'm reading, it's only required on 105 and the major highways. So if you want to check in on that, so, but I know, I think everything's okay. I just wanted to, maybe I'm reading it wrong or I'm reading something wrong. Okay.
But I would be interested in knowing why it was one way and now it's not, because the deterioration of the downtown, we don't want that to happen. Because so many new businesses are coming and they're adhering to aesthetically pleasing in the historic downtown. So, but if you're not opposed to it, maybe, and again, you have to submit, or you can call Ms. Tilly and she can help you with that too.
I think one reason why it's not, it hasn't been done or not a good idea, there's so much buried that you couldn't put in a monument sign with a foundation.
Yeah. But maybe if you could aesthetically, maybe the poles, maybe cap.
Well, I mean, paint poles or whatever, yes, but
Okay.
I think it's almost impossible to put a monument sign in some of those streets in the historical district.
I know that corner had a lot of work done. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot
Yeah, there's a,
in my corner,
right,
doing a
right,
lot of work, so that's groundwork.
right.
Just remember, when you choose to do that, you can bring it up to the planning and zoning or address Ms. Tilly by calling the direct office. Thank you, Patricia.
So we're going to act on this?
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the request to relocate the sign.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the relocation of the existing sign in the Historical Preservation District from 305 Prairie Street to the existing sign post at 301 Prairie Street. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion passes. Number 5, consideration and possible action regarding the installation of a new wall sign at 308 Caroline Street.
Do we have representatives?
Yes, we do. So this will be for 308 Caroline Street. They're the new tenants for this building. What they're doing is actually proposing that new wall sign over what used to be on that parapet. And again, unless I missed something again in the ordinance, this wall sign would be non-conforming because you can't be above the roof line typically on a building, even though there's a parapet on there. And because there used to be signage on that wall, on that parapet, we're going to go ahead and allow having this new sign put in. So I recommend approval for this, the installation of this new sign.
You want to take down the old one and put a new one up where the old one is?
The old one's already been taken down.
But it's going to just,
It's going to go in the same spot.
and so you're telling us that in an ordinance, it's not supposed to be there originally.
Originally.
Can you tell me how long you've had your sign up there previously?
I
Well, it's not-
Well, I mean, before you came, It's been, you've been looking at the property.
3 years.
Yep.
But you take a look, every sign, every building downtown in that shape has a sign up there.
Yes.
You said that it can't be above the roof line. Now, the roof line, it's not above the roof line, it's above the roof line of the porch, but not the building.
Well, it is above just a little bit of that roof line. If the whole sign is not, it does look a little
You're talking about
deceiving
because of
because
the raise on the,
yes, the very,
Yeah.
the very top line of the
Arch.
yes. The parapet
yeah.
is, I guess, it makes it look a little deceiving because that parapet does go a bit above that line.
Do we need to look into that ordinance for such reasons as we have tonight to see? I mean, you'd hate to take a sign down and put the same exact sign back up, prettier, more ornate, and someone come and go, no, you can't put it up there. And, you know, everyone, I mean, grandfather laws and different stuff. Are we looking into that ordinance so that we can address it if the next person comes along and says, hey, that sign was there?
Right. The way that the non-conforming signs work is that, let's say that she decided to put lighting on it.
Yeah.
It changes the
Yes.
non-conforming because
Right.
Yes.
there's any lighting on there now. Let's say that they wanted to make it larger. Again, that changes the non-conforming, you wouldn't be able to make it larger.
Right.
You can make it smaller, but by that time, then you can't enlarge it again. So as it gets closer to being conforming, you just can't go back to the non-conforming steps.
Okay.
Is the new sign exact same size as the old one?
Yes. Just that we, well, we're careful of the lights.
I like the new one.
I like the design of it. I'll make a motion that we approve the, that we approve the installation of a new wall sign at 308 Caroline Street as presented.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the installation of the new wall sign at 308 Caroline Street. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion passes. Item number 6, consideration of possible action regarding the installation of 2 new shingle-type signs at 401 College Street on the second floor of Suite 260.
So this one here that you have in front of you, again, it is a shingle-type sign where it hangs directly off of the, I guess we call it the...
Is it an awning? Or a
I think
roof?
they were calling it a roof over the
The deck,
second
over
floor
the deck.
balcony.
Yeah.
Call it like an awning.
I guess we can call it an awning or a roof. It does have the columns that reaches down. That's why it could possibly be like a roof. Anyway, it's going to hang just below that. The only requirement that we really have, we don't have like the design guidelines in the historic district for signage, but the percentage of sign coverage based on the wall size. Definitely doesn't exceed the 60% required, or maximum for a wall sign.
Do we have a representative here?
Yes, we do.
Hi. I was just wondering, did you think of anywhere else to hang it besides on the awning? Do you own the brick portion of it right before it gets to the awning? Or maybe underneath that awning and putting it on the bricks instead of hanging it from that awning and possibly swinging and when wind comes by and stuff? Have you thought of that?
Well, I can't really do it below because I don't lease that space, that's barred mine.
But right underneath the awning, there's windows and then there's bricks, and then on the side that's facing the community center, there is a solid brick wall before you get to that awning, before you round that corner. Is that part of your lease or rental or own?
Not downstairs.
No upstairs.
Downstairs, but upstairs, there, I don't know how he would feel about something permanently affixed to the brick.
What about on the rail?
He's a real nice man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He helped me do the design.
Yeah.
These were his suggestions.
Yeah. I feel like it would be aesthetically better
I don't.
presented on a wall rather than
If it's
hanging.
on the brick wall, I don't know if it would be visible from below.
So you scroll up, you can
So
see.
my thing, you know, she's applying for a shingle type sign, which there's many of them throughout the city that hang.
I just, it's a pretty little building, and I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, why aren't they just putting it on the brick? But
You know, for a shingle, my thought was for a shingle type sign, which I'm in favor of, it's a little large, 6 square feet. If you could, and it's what, 25 by 36? I think that's what the measurements on there. If you could knock that down by moving the logo to along the side area to, knock it down to like 16 by whatever, I don't think it would look so, as a shingle type sign, possibly not look as large up there. I know there's no dimensions on a shingle type sign, because as I'm driving through town, there's many of them and they range. That's just my thought,
And I think the main reason for the sign, because we did go and measure and visualize, and
Right.
it was just the lack of visibility because it's on the second floor. If it were on the first level, then it would be readable.
Right.
But once you get to that height, closer to the height, the top, coming down from
Right.
the top of the second floor, it's just a visibility issue, I would say.
there's 2 of them.
Yeah, and that's because of there at the corner.
Yeah. I know that's the reason why the shingle type signs, especially with the buildings with overhangs, you really, if you mount them on the wall, you can't see the signage. It's a good looking sign. There's nothing intrusive to it, so.
Would you consider anything else, or you like it the way where you had it?
We went with the owner of the building and we tried to come up with better options, but it's from a visibility standpoint, which of course is the point of the sign.
Is the sign that's shown in the photograph to scale?
No.
I think that's part of the
No,
problem.
that's just a mock-up. The actual dimensions are in the application.
Yeah, I think because looking at the photograph, it looks larger than 24 by
I think
36.
it's more narrow.
I think it's a lot narrower, a lot smaller than we're seeing. Because
Right.
the picture is deceiving.
Yes, that was done just to show location.
I understand why you did it. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to draw the fact that it does look bigger than it really is.
I was lucky to get it on there at all. I'm not excited when it comes to stuff like that.
I make a motion that we approve the sign, the shingle sign as requested. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the 2 new shingle type signs at 401 College Street, second floor, 206. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no.
Can you tell me who seconded it?
John.
Okay, so we have
You said no.
4 yeses and 1 no. Motion is approved. All right. Item number 7, consideration and possible action regarding proposed new single-family dwelling located at 990 Caroline Street in the Historical Preservation District.
All right, for this property, if you recall back in November of 2024, you all reviewed a proposal, and originally the address was 1005 College. But because this lot is being split, the new address is 990 Caroline, and that will be the south portion of this lot that is being split. The property owner, or the soon-to-be property owner, the people who are proposing this new single-family dwelling, they are here if you have any questions. I went through a list of the findings. It's quite a list if we want to go through each item, but if there's a specific item on that list that you have a question on, I can answer that.
just.
My recommendation would be approval of the proposed design with possibly some spec sheets that would detail what the gutters and downspouts would look like, maybe some of the facade materials, making sure that they meet the design guidelines, the facade openings, getting a detail on any of those openings, making sure that they meet the design guidelines, and then any of the, if there's going to be screens, storm doors, storm windows, make sure that we get that addressed.
The homeowners here?
Yes.
Hi.
And this is our builder.
Oh, okay. Driveway?
Gravel, at least in the beginning.
And that is permitted for a single-family dwelling.
And do you have a carport or a garage?
Yes.
Carport?
A carport.
And the lighting? What type of lighting will you have around your home? Is it going to be on the corners? Or are you going to have like posts or, you know, because it's kind of dark at night over there.
Yeah. There's floodlights on the corners of
Of the house?
corners of the house.
Okay.
I think one of them is kind of in the zigzag, yes.
And the fencing, are you planning on fencing back and front?
No fencing.
No fencing at all? Oh, that's different. Most people want to put a fence up.
We're looking to retire and have no maintenance. We're going to do old paint fences now.
You're not bringing turf, are you? Oh, generator? Do you have a generator?
No, we are going to have a little pad built for maybe when we can afford one. So-
And the setback on the sides of houses, did anyone go over that with you? If it's the 5 foot or the 10 foot or
Yeah,
that 10 foot?
I'm looking at the experts, I can't remember.
You're going to tap into the city water and the city sewer. Okay. I have all my questions answered.
You know, we change the windows, so when we stop
I looked at it, it's beautiful.
I make a motion that we approve the proposed new single-family dwelling located at 990 Caroline Street, Historic Preservation District, as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the design of the new single-family home dwelling at 990 Caroline Street in the Historical Preservation District. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion passes. Okay. Item number 8, consideration of possible action regarding a request for a special use permit for a fast food restaurant with drive-through service at 21049 Eva Street. Anyone here with the owners, developers? No? Okay.
Do we have anything back from TxDOT on the drain?
We have not received anything back, nothing on the traffic impact analysis or,
And you're wanting us to say yes or no tonight?
this is just a recommendation that you would make to city council.
Okay.
It is not for you approving the special use permit, it is just a recommendation. So what I did was, I broke it down based on the 2020 comprehensive plan. If you want to use that as a reference, but otherwise, what I placed here in the report where the findings are met came directly from the comprehensive plan. If there's any other areas of the comprehensive plan that you feel that should be on this report, that can also be added.
So there has been no impact study at all done on anything at this point? Okay.
If you heard the city council, was it just last week? Yeah.
So they tabled it?
They tabled the request to place the public hearing on, I think it's like May 20th.
Okay, well, if city council put it on hold for a reason, then there's a good reason to be doing that. My thoughts. You know, that corner is going to put a big strain on traffic issues. I would like, before I approve anything, I'd like to see the impact study from the developer. You know, we got traffic issues, 149, 105 access cuts. You know, we've got parking issues without a easement agreement possibly. My feeling is if a new construction building is coming in, he should not need to have easement parking on a freestanding building on a piece of property. That's going to cause problems down the road for the chief and everybody else with the problems on that.
I would like to remind the rest of the committee, the group here, that the city purchased this lot at one time in the past just so to give TxDOT access to a right-hand turn lane.
Right.
And then we granted that, they took their turn lane, and now here we are trying to crowd something else into the corner.
And we don't know what TxDOT's plans are coming down 140. They may need to have more.
We keep looking at, you know, the opposite corner diagonally where the old cemetery is, and you know, how narrow the whole thing is. It's just
Right.
too small for the amount of traffic.
Right.
Ms. Tony, is this land or a portion of this land where they want to put this in 149 easement? Does the state have an easement there?
No, what they did was purchase a portion of that land so that they could have the right turn lane.
Okay, so where we're talking about the Jack in the Box going is not physically in a roadway easement. Okay, I got another question. I know this has had a lot of discussion about whether or not a special use permit is needed. Do you know from your research, which seems to be extensive, has the donut shop or McDonald's or the other places, have they had to get a special use permit?
They have not.
Okay, so this would be a first of its kind because we're starting to enforce the rules. Okay, I read exactly what you did, and I agree that a special use permit is required by the ordinance without doing a variance from the ordinance.
And we have experienced, since, I guess, we have the new transition of employees, we have experienced the squeeze of our
Following the rules.
yeah, we're following the rules now, and the people that live in Montgomery are, you know, they're like, why are you now putting this in here? And we got to start somewhere. And for our city to be better, safer, and prettier, and welcoming, and want people to move here, and it to be better, we have to have some type of rules that are set forth.
And I agree totally, and it's this situation where the traffic in this area is only going to get worse. It's not so much from the city of Montgomery's 4 square miles, it's the outside traffic coming in from all directions. And for me to sit here and pass something that I don't know anything about, especially if they have not done the impact studies with TxDOT, drainage, on down the line, whatever is required, I can't consciously sit here and give a permit, because if we give a permit, then we're sunk.
How long is that special use permit for? Once we give it to them, if we give it to them,
You can place an expiration date on that special use permit. It's kind of tough when the drive-through is going to be built.
My feeling is if somebody wants to come into Montgomery so bad that they ought to go through the steps prior and show us their what they're wanting to do. if they want, if the owners or the developer wants to put a jack-in-the-box in there that badly, have him bring all the studies to us and let us decide at that time.
I make a motion that we table this item until after a public hearing, if one is held.
We need to deny the special permit first.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So if we're looking at timing for tabling this, the next planning commission would be May
May
6th,
6th.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Does that give them, I would say, once they have all their studies done, and not until then. That's my thought.
We have to set it.
I'd like to deny it.
Well, we have the special use.
When you table it, you do have to set a date.
So when you table it, you do have to set a date.
Otherwise, it comes back at the very next meeting.
In the public
Which is
hearing,
May 6th.
the public hearing is when?
It was, the city council has postponed or tabled the public hearing, and it will come back, is it
April 22nd.
The end of April.
End of
So
April.
what we have to do in the end of April, city council would announce when their public hearing would be held.
Okay.
Now, if their decision is based on what kind of recommendation the Planning and Zoning Commission has, that means they would have to announce a public hearing after Planning and Zoning Commission has made a recommendation. So let's say May 6th is when you make the recommendation. I think the next possible public hearing would be May, not even May, it would be June, because we're required to do a 15-day notification of the public hearing. And if you make the decision on the 6th, 15 days from there would bring you past the actual public hearing date for city council. So then we'd have to move city council public hearing to June.
So if we deny the permit, if we say, as the planning and zoning, part of the special use permit, we deny it, that will, then they can do the public hearing, they can do whatever they want to, but my fear is, like you said, if they say anything and they start construction and they build the drive-through, like, why don't we just deny the special use permit and let it go through all the other motions that it has to go through? It still has to come back to us for a special use permit. But if we deny it tonight, then it's up to city council what it is that they're going to do as far as their public hearing.
What you're denying then is your recommendation, that
Yeah.
you are going to recommend that city council
Deny it.
deny the special use permit.
Yes.
And then.
Yes.
Go from that, let them
Yep.
take it from there.
Yep.
And do we have, if we want to recommend denial, do we have the reasons for denial?
We don't have any studies, and we can't even drive through there now. You put a drive-through in there, and they're coming and going, they're backing
I
up.
guess,
and-
the main reason is we don't have information to make a logical decision.
With that being said, my recommendation would be to just table this.
Yeah.
Table it.
Until those items come in, and then bring this item back.
Okay,
So we can put a date for it to come back to see where we are on the follow-up, the feasibility, and that other information, so that way you can make a determination at that point.
Then I'll make a motion that we table it until June 3rd, 2025.
We already had a motion on the table.
Oh,
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, withdrawn. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we table the recommendation regarding a request for a special use permit for fast food restaurant with drive-through service at 21049 Eva Street until June 3rd, 2025, a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
I second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second for tabling the motion for request for a special use permit, fast food drive-through at 21049 Eva Street until June 3rd, till after the June 3rd public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion passes. Okay, is there...
Commission inquiry.
Correct?
Commission inquiry.
Yes, yes, sir.
Ms. Tiller, are you aware that the flag that is flying in front of, Kai Place is an illegal sign?
The
Crawfish Kai flag that they're flying is an illegal sign.
illegal in what?
Illegal with respect to signs in use in the historic district.
It's for temporary signage, it is permitted, but because it is in the historic district, it should have come to you for review.
Absolutely.
Even though it's a temporary sign. Yes.
So I request that you take action accordingly.
Ms. Tilly, have you done a tour of the town lately of the signs? I know briefly we spoke prior to the meeting starting. I was just wondering if we're going to look at Kai, can we just go ahead and do the city and bring back your findings for us, please? Thank you so much.
With no further inquiries, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do we need to add to the agenda sorry, there is a motion, but do we need to add to the agenda the next meeting's agenda to be re-sworn in?
I'll take that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the April 1st, 2025 meeting at 6:35 p.m. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No, say no.
If you say no, you hear for yourself.